Welcome everybody to episode 21 of our podcast, where we discuss people that had encounters with Jesus while he was here on earth. And it's just real life people like me and you, Gerald,
right.
like me and you as well. And
Absolutely.
our encounter with Jesus changed our lives, or at least mine did.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
His encounter is still changing my life.
Yeah.
And even now, even more, because I'm getting to know him.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you get born again, you're so caught up in the grace of it. But now there's almost the maturity coming to our relationship. I know something about him.
Yeah.
I know his mercy. I know the tone of his voice, which I think can influence a lot of things. So.
We said it last time, he's not a product we're selling, he's someone we're introducing to other people.
Absolutely.
But we need to know this person that we're introducing.
Oh,
It's
you need to
always-
know his tone.
Yeah.
Turketti, it's so important. You got to know his tone. You know, there are things, for example, if someone ran through that door and they were bleeding, I guarantee you'd be up and you'd want to help and you'd want to see if you assist, because that's who you are. I know something about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to know who he is.
Yeah.
And I think we're learning some things. Today's going to be interesting because it's complete opposite to what it was last week.
Yeah, so last week we spoke about the lady that was caught in an adulterous relationship, brought to Jesus. Very interesting for me is that it was in a whole legal place where this all took place. And this week, Luke 10, we get to a guy that he knows the law very well. He's a lawyer,
expert.
a legal expert. So we presume he's a lawyer or an advocate.
Something like that in those days, yeah.
Yeah. So my brother is an advocate, and obviously I'm a pastor. My dad says he doesn't know always who to trust, the advocate or the pastor.
You be the woman with the sin rather. Let him forgive you. So what's interesting about this legal expert? The Bible firstly says he's a legal expert. Then the Bible says something. He tests Jesus. Now, again, let's just backtrack to last week. The lady did not even know she wanted to meet Jesus.
Yeah.
This guy is intentional about meeting Jesus.
Sure.
Jesus gives him an answer, but he's not satisfied with that answer. So then the Bible says, and he wanted to prove something. And he continues in that sense. So it's someone that's really hungry to know something. And then Jesus says this to him. He says, listen, I'll answer you. Love God and love people.
That's it.
That's what you got to do. Love God and love people. And that's what we talk about often at the Friend of God. We love God, we love people. That's why we exist. And we're not about correcting, we're about connecting. So we love God, we love people. Jesus says that to him. And he could have been on his way. Legal expert, lawyer, knows how to talk. He says, no. I want to engage with you. And he engages. And then Jesus gives a couple of examples. I don't know if you want to speak.
Yeah, so
into that.
Jesus gives the parable, I think, that we all know about the Samaritan, the Good Samaritan, that shows mercy to a man. And look, that is a whole nother story. Rick Moser once did a sermon on that, and my mind was blown about just the complication of it. So when we look at that, it was just amazing how Jesus knew exactly the characters that he chose for that specific parable. To be able to engage with someone that is quite clever, that knows the law, and Jesus speaks to him on his terms, and finds a common ground actually to share the good news with him.
Well, this is the powerful thing, and we need to learn from that. He's rolling with someone who was in adultery. He's rolling with the legal ones here. He's got Matthew, the tax collector, so he knew people that understood money. And then he's dealing with fishermen, which are real hard business people at that time. So Jesus had a broad understanding of people. And I really think we make him less when we just make him this individual that was on a cross. The cross has the final word, I get that. And it's the symbol of his love for us.
Yeah.
But don't take away from the man's capacity.
Yeah.
This was no fool. Jesus was not just this humble servant. Jesus had real capacity to engage people on many different levels.
And I think sometimes we get into a conversation and we don't want to really, we feel intimidated by people, especially when they ask the tough questions. And this guy came to Jesus, and Jesus knew the tough questions, and we feel intimidated. And Jesus was, no, I really want to engage with you. I want to talk to you. Tell them in a story, basic way of the Good Samaritan, because the guy was asking. What is the most important?
What is the most important thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and he love God, love people. Jesus said, and
then he continues with the conversation. So Jesus shows patience there as well.
Just broadens it out for this, and then the final thing is now you go and do the same.
Because what's interesting, right at the end, Jesus explains the whole things to him, and again, I think the big lesson there is last week grace.
Yeah.
Secondly, we think we're learning as patience. Jesus got patience with people. We don't always have patience with people.
Yeah.
We don't. But Jesus has got patience with this person, and he explains the whole thing to him, and then he says to him, "Listen, which one do you think? Who do you think the Samaritan? Who do you think would have been the most grateful?" And he says these words: "The one that showed mercy." And Jesus' words rock my boat. He says, "Go and do the same."
Yeah.
Go and do the same. And if there's anyone out there, maybe that's just my 5 cents. I want to throw it into the pot and say to you, love God, love people, and if you get an opportunity, reveal mercy, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. No, I agree 100% with you. Well, I don't actually want to add any more to this story. That's for me it. We have to show that mercy just like the Good Samaritan did. It doesn't matter, especially in a world where there's so much going on about discrimination, racism, and this whole story was just brought out. Jesus was showing this to a very clever guy, telling him in a very simple way. Absolutely. And I think we need to engage with that as well, to go and love God, love people. So
love God, love people.
Simple.
Show mercy.
Show mercy. So thank you once again for joining us. Absolutely. Hope you have a blessed week. Remember to subscribe to our channel, share it if you'd like, listen to us on Spotify. And from our side, nothing but love.
Nothing but love, friends.